And all of you have spoken to some degree about the impact on performance in the classroom. We hear a lot about that in the indoor air quality community, about the impact of air quality on cognitive performance and so on. Are we able, as we sit here today, to be able to draw those straight lines at this stage and say, this is going to make a tangible difference to school scores in classrooms for pupils, taking a classroom from a poor place to a good place? Are those evidence lines there now for us to draw? Because every time I read on this, I get conflicting messages that there are so many confounding factors that impact things like tests on cognitive performance. It's hard for us to pin it to one thing or another. Generally, do we have confidence that if we take classrooms from here to there, that people are going to look back at that venture and go, well, that was worth it? Like you say, the ROI for doing this is that there's a better outcome. Do you have confidence that that's the case?
You don't ask me to say that I don't have a confidence. Of course I do. Of course I do. We have to be careful in interpretation of the results. First of all, scientific evidence clearly showed that there are studies, cross-sectional studies, that really show that classrooms with high ventilation, less risk for infection, better cognitive performance. Although you can say, of course, you can say, well, that is a lot of confounding factors. There's a huge study that was published by actually economists from Harvard School that they looked at the outdoor temperatures and the results of the exit exams in United States, across the entire United States. Clear evidence with the elevated outdoor temperatures, poorer exit. So we believe that there will be shift, but it's very difficult to promise anything. So you can put your question in a different way. You can say, well, we can guarantee that it will not get better. It may certainly get better, but it won't get worse, sorry to say. So we can guarantee that because there are so many other factors. During the time I put the school from one environment to other environment, there could be other conditions that can cause that, But at least for that aspect, I will guarantee you that there will be any sort of a negative effects on their learning.
Yeah. And it comes with co-benefits as well, I guess. You improve, like you say, you improve cognitive performance, but you're probably going to nail absenteeism as well, and presenteeism to some degree, and perhaps some long-term chronic illnesses, and perhaps some acute infection risks. And so there's a lot wrapped up in getting the environment right, isn't there?
And to bring other elements to your question, Simon, not on cognitive performance, but regarding health effects, there are not many epidemiological studies regarding indoor air quality, and not in schools especially, but there are some, and they have shown that when the formaldehyde concentration increase, the asthma crisis increase. And they have shown also that when there is mold in classrooms, you have more asthma or more wheezing in children. There were clear quantitative relationships showing this evidence. And last year in France, we tried to calculate the number of asthma crises that could be avoided if we would reduce the formaldehyde concentration. We obtained between 9,000 and 27,000 asthma events that could be avoided every year if we would reduce the formaldehyde concentration in classrooms. So there are tangible results, quantitative data showing that, yes, if you improve indoor air quality, you will improve health and you will improve learning.
So to continue on this, on a population level, let's say on a regional level or maybe on a country level, if you shift all your schools to the better environment, you certainly get a better result. I trust that it will happen. If you go to a specific school or two schools or maybe three schools, it may not happen because there are those confounders that you cannot control. So I believe we have to be very careful of not overgeneralizing this, because the results that the science presents to us are on the population level or what on average level, what we would expect on the larger group, not on a very small group, on a class level. So you say, if you invest in one class that improves ventilation, basically, maybe there will be no shift.
Yeah.
But if you do it in hundreds or thousands of classrooms, you will see that. That's the point.
Yeah.